What is up, guys? This is the Sound Alchemist, and I'm back at it to bring you 40 facts on the Warhammer 40k universe. This time we'll be going into the Wargear and Armory of one of my buddy's favorite armies that he never plays. That is the Black Templars. He likes the lore and the look of them. He likes the whole crusade aspect of like the Christian Templars and all that. But he never plays this army. He plays Necrons and he plays Salamanders, which is kind of funny. If you guys have an army that you love but never played, please let me know in the comments down below, because I just think that's hilarious. Anyway, guys, we have reached almost 2,000 likes on the Facebook page. We've got over 2,000 followers, so that means it's giveaway time. So head on over to our One Mind Syndicate page. There is a link in the, not the comments, the description below. So you guys can go over there and figure out how you guys can be entered to win some awesomeness. The deadline is Saturday, which is in 2 days, I believe, if this is when the video actually does go out. So head on over there and find out how you guys can be entered to win some awesome One Mind Syndicate prizes. Anyway, guys, thank you for liking the Facebook page. If you haven't, please do so. We try and post each and every day on there as well. Now, going back to the video, the Black Templars are a pretty cool chapter. They're very religious, which is weird since the Emperor doesn't want to be seen as a god. But anyway, let's dive into a little bit of backstory into the Black Templars before we jump into their armory. So the Black Templars are a loyalist second founding Space Marine chapter derived from the Imperial Fist gene seed and their Primarch, Rogel Dorn. Their origin can be traced back to the Imperial Fist defense of Terra during the Horus Heresy, and since that time they have been on the longest crusade of the Imperium of Man to have ever occurred, and this is to prove their loyalty to the Emperor. They aren't a Codex Astartes compliant chapter, and they do maintain very different chapter structure and cultural than the normal Space Marines. So the Black Templars are the best known example of a crusading chapter in the whole Imperium. Their doctrines, traditions, and organizations reflect their approach to prosecuting the Imperium's war. The chapter is divided into a variable number of self-contained and highly mobile forces known as crusades, each commanded by a marshal, whose only superior is the High Marshal of the chapter itself. Under most circumstances, though, the chapter is divided to no more than 3 separate crusade forces. During especially calamitous times, this number has risen to several times more, but usually it's just 3. So now that you guys have a sense of who the Black Templars are, let's jump into their chapter-specific weaponry and armory, beginning with the Armor of Faith. So the Armor of Faith is the traditional name given to the power armor gifted to the Emperor's champion, together with the Black Sword. Chosen from the finest artificial armor available to the chapter, it is then inscribed with sacred wards and catechisms of hatred. The armor offers greater protection than any ordinary suit of power armor could, allowing the Emperor's champion to complete his holy duty. Now, we will be putting out some more lore on the Black Templars, more specifically the Emperor's champion, so stay tuned for that, guys. The Black Sword. So the Black Sword is a massive two-handed power sword wielded by the Emperor's champion of the Black Templars. It is blessed by the chapter's chaplains, and it is paired with the Armor of Faith. The Black Sword can be wielded as a two-handed or a single-handed weapon, depending on the warrior's might. The first of these weapons was given to Sigismund during the battle for the Imperial Palace. Though the weapon can take on many forms, it is usually a power weapon that can slice through flesh and armor with ease. It also considerably increases the strength of the Black Templar who wields it. The Chain of Zeal. The Chain of Zeal is a devotion chain of the Black Templars. It secures the Marine's weapon and armor with a permanent weld that lasts as long as he serves. Because taking off a gauntlet with a chain still attached is a shameful act that entails great dishonor, the wearer of the Chain of Zeal must keep his armored glove donned and weapon in hand every minute for the rest of his life. Should the chain and weapon be forcibly removed, they can only be reaffixed through a ceremony performed by the Black Templar chaplains. Witchbane. Witchbane is a chainsword used by the Black Templar Brother Sergeant Navrel. It was named after slaying a Farseer and many Eldar in an ambush in the world of Scoth in the Ixiand sector. This deed also led to Narval's second amendment into the Death Watch. The Holy Orbs of Antioch. The Holy Orbs of Antioch were first created by the artificer Antioch. They are comprised of a standard grenade filled with high explosives and sacred undulants, which are especially effective against the impure and the wicked. Notably carried into battle by the Black Templars, they are also used by other Space Marine forces and the Inquisition. They are all rigged with a 5-second fuse and are individually crafted for excellent quality and reliability. The Holy Orbs of Antioch is a reference to the Holy Hand Grenades of Antioch that appear in the comedy film Monty Python and the Holy Grail. This grenade is deliberately patterned after the Sovereign's Orb, one of the British Crown's jewels. Also, the grenade's user is instructed to count to 3 and then throw it, but King Arthur mistakenly says 5 when he means 3, as he does throughout this film. Now that's just a little bit of information on the Monty Python and the Black Templars. Pretty weird stuff, but pretty cool nonetheless. And finally, we come to the last piece of war gear for the Black Templars, the Sword of High Marshals. The Sword of High Marshals is also called the Sword of Sigismund, but we'll get to that later. Basically what it is a master-crafted power sword that contains fragments of the sword wielded by the Primarch Rogal Dorn during the Horus Heresy. It is the most sacred relic of all the Black Templar Space Marine chapter relics, and ritually it is presented to the chapter master, aka the High Marshal, upon his election, after which he then declares his first crusade. Now according to legend, Rogal Dorn broke his sword across his knee in a fit of rage after he failed to protect the Emperor of Mankind aboard the Vengeful Spirit during the end of the Siege of Terra, swearing to never wield it again. Sigismund, the first High Marshal of the Black Templars, ordered the shards to be forged into the Sword of High Marshals that would later be carried by all High Marshals as a reminder of their duty of atonement. During the War of the Beast, when there had been only a few High Marshals to wield this blade, it was more commonly called the Sword of Sigismund. Currently, this sword is carried by High Marshal Helbrecht. Now Helbrecht has some amazing lore, so you know we're going to get to him pretty soon, maybe in the next couple of days or next week. Honestly, this guy's pretty badass. And as always guys, all good things must come to an end. That is all the chapter-specific war gear for the Black Templars. So let me know what you guys thought about these holy relics for this awesome chapter. Do you guys watch Monty Python? If so, did you get a kick out of this? Also, like I said before guys, we do have that Facebook giveaway going. So head on over there for your chance to win some awesome prizes. And lastly, one question I do have for you guys. If you guys were to choose between being a High Marshal of the Black Templars, would you do it? Even though that may mean that the Inquisition would kind of be on your heels for like heresy and all that. I don't know. In my opinion, it's like the Black Templars are cool enough, but they take things to the extreme. Like, yeah, they feel atonement for, you know, Dorn's mistake and whatnot, but the Emperor never wanted to be a god, and these guys are literally praising him and spreading him as a god, which was what Lorgar did, and now you see where he is at. So, with Guilliman in control, do you think Guilliman's going to do anything to kind of keep the Black Templars in line about this whole calling the God Emperor a god, you know? Anyway, that's just my thoughts and theories into this. My own opinion. Let me know what you guys think. Should Guilliman do something about them, or if you were in, you know, in the Black Templar army, would you just go with the flow? Anyway, guys, that's all I have for you today. As always, hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Patreon for more things 40k. And as always, I'm the Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow.